James Gunn's Superman reboot may be falling into MCU's trap, rushing world-building before grounding its hero. DC fans aren't loving it. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn's Superman may be soaring toward release, but behind the scenes, the road's been anything but smooth. Despite the runtime reveal, insiders say the real story is the slight course correction that quietly reshaped DC Studios' flagship reboot, via World of Friel. James Gunn's Superman reboot might be flying a little too close to the MCU sun. While fans are hyped to see Clark Kent back in action, some are already side-eyeing what feels like a classic Marvel misstep, overstuffing the universe before the foundation is even solid. With projects like Creature Commandos and Supergirl already lined up, it's giving a major Phase 4 vibe. Toss in confusing canon choices, and things feel messy. If Gunn wants DC to soar, he'll need to avoid Marvel's biggest flaw, forgetting that less sometimes really is more. Then came the shakeups. One editor was quietly removed mid-process, prompting a restructuring of the film's narrative flow. Scenes were shuffled. New bits were added during reshoots. The goal was to sharpen the story and ground the tone. Even the music wasn't safe. A second composer joined the team late in the game, suggesting that the film's sonic identity may have shifted just weeks ago. It's all part of that broader tonal pivot insiders are calling a slight course correction. Early test screenings reportedly triggered alarms. The original cut leaned into humor, something that felt a little too MCU for die-hard DC fans. Warner Brothers execs, including CEO David Zaslav, weren't thrilled. In response, several comedic beats were trimmed, tightening both the tone and runtime. James Gunn's Superman might be the DCU reset fans have been waiting for. Early buzz says it's not just decent, it's actually good. Despite last-minute pickups in Atlanta and a second composer, David Fleming, joining John Murphy, the film hasn't hit reshoot panic mode. Just polish. Both composers still have music in the final cut. Roughly 25 minutes of footage were cut from earlier versions, giving the final film a leaner feel. The trimming reflects a studio laser-focused on delivering a clean, confident launch for the rebooted DC universe. The final test screening is locked in for this week. And while it's too early to tell if these 11th-hour tweaks will pay off, there's reportedly a fresh wave of optimism within the studio. The film is in the can, tightened, tuned, and ready to fly. Whether Superman avoids the MCU-like pitfalls it flirted with remains to be seen. But this time, DC seems determined not to miss the mark. Looking at Gunn's superhero track record, Guardians, Peacemaker, The Suicide Squad, this shouldn't be shocking. The guys never missed. And the vibe's already clicking. July 11th can't come fast enough. The full movie's done and dusted 5 weeks before release, a rare move that screams studio confidence, according to THR's Heat Vision. Even tweets from the test screening leaks back it up. One from filmmaker Joe Russo called it super good. Get to turn on notifications bell for more video. Jeff Snyder, known for his plugged-in takes on Hollywood's inner workings, recently poured a little cold water on fan speculation. While speaking on John Rocha's The Hot Mic, he revealed he's optimistic about Superman's box office potential, suggesting it might even triumph over the likes of Fantastic Four or Jurassic World at the summer box office. He's clear on one thing: this isn't The Dark Knight. Not every cape comes with $1 billion box office and a genre-defining legacy. As fans get excited for James Gunn's new Superman, some are already calling it the next Dark Knight. But insider Jeff Snyder is here to bring those expectations back down to earth. He doesn't think this movie is aiming to change the superhero genre the way The Dark Knight did. Instead, it's trying to lay the groundwork for a fresh start at DC. Yes, the trailer broke records, and Superman is still one of the most beloved characters out there. But Snyder says this movie feels more careful than bold. It's setting up a universe, and not flipping the script. So while Superman might do really well, even beating out some big summer blockbusters, it's not likely to be the next genre-defining hit. Despite all this, Superman is one of the most anticipated films of 2025, and early box office projections suggest a strong performance, though not necessarily record-breaking. As per Forbes, industry insiders expect the film to open with around $110 to $140 million domestically in its first weekend, depending on final marketing, critical reception, and fan turnout. Its total domestic gross is projected to land between $300 to $350 million, with international markets potentially adding another $400 to $450 million, bringing the worldwide total to around $700 to $800 million. He explained, I think that the movie is going to be fine. I think it's going to perform well and might even win July. It might even, triumph over Fantastic Four and Jurassic World, right? But do I think that we're getting like a Dark Knight? No, I do not. I definitely do not think we are getting anything close to Dark Knight or a movie that is going to redefine the comic book movie genre. Snyder noted that Superman seems designed more to launch a universe than revolutionize the genre. There has to be an element of safety in it, he pointed out, hinting that DC and Gunn are playing the long game. He acknowledged hearing mixed early reactions, nothing catastrophic, but nothing earth-shattering either. In other words, it's good, maybe even great. But it's not breaking new cinematic ground like Nolan's Batman did in 2008. While it's not expected to reach the billion-dollar heights of The Dark Knight, Superman is set to be a solid hit and a much-needed fresh start for DC's universe. The trailer made a huge splash online with over 250 million views in 24 hours. Superman remains an iconic and globally recognizable character, and James Gunn's lighter, more hopeful tone appears to be resonating with a wide audience. However, the film is also facing significant challenges. The DC brand is still recovering from a series of underperforming titles, and Superman releases amid a crowded summer slate, including Fantastic Four, Jurassic World, Rebirth, and Smurfs. There's also ongoing concern about superhero fatigue in general. It earned critical acclaim, reshaped audience expectations, and even sparked debates about Oscar rules after being famously snubbed for Best Picture. Now let's talk legacy. The Dark Knight didn't just rake in over $1 billion worldwide, it redefined what a superhero movie could be. Christopher Nolan's gritty, layered storytelling, Heath Ledger's haunting Joker, and the murkiness of Bruce Wayne's world turned it into prestige cinema. Plus, DC's brand isn't as unshakable right now. After years of uneven films, the studio needs to win back trust. And that means sticking the landing safely, not trying to break the sound barrier. Snyder sees Superman as the first solid step in a longer marathon. And maybe that's not a bad thing. Either way, fans are super excited. That's the shadow Superman is flying under. It's not fair, but it's real. When people say, the next Dark Knight, they're not just talking box office. They're talking impact, tone, and cultural shift. Snyder recognizes that Superman isn't being built that way. James Gunn's DCU slate beyond Superman might be in trouble if new report about HBO's resistance to his ideas are true. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn has been handed the keys to the DC universe alongside Peter Safran. The filmmaker is directing the upcoming Superman movie, starring David Corenswet in the titular role. However, Gunn is also overseeing the development of several other projects in the rebooted DCU. Director James Gunn has been tasked with launching a new era of the DC universe, with the upcoming Superman movie serving as the first major entry in a brand new franchise. As Superman gears up for a release this summer, Gunn has already planned a slate of movies and shows to follow. According to a reputed industry insider, Gunn's plans for the television side of things might hit a major roadblock. The insider suggested that HBO, the network expected to carry most of DCU's television slate, might not be interested